And one. Welcome back to another episode of the Outside Minds Podcast, SWAPCAST edition with 6G Agenda Podcast. This is basically going to be another part 2 of the last SWAPCAST we did with 6G Agenda. I'm going to throw it on over to the host of that podcast. His name is Andrew. He's going to let you guys know a little bit about himself and where you guys could find him.
Hey, thanks for having me back, guys.
Yes,
good
sir.
to see you again. I'm Andrew, one of the hosts of 6G Agenda Podcast, and we talk about what they will not.
Yes.
And we get really wild, all about the technocratic state that's coming. This is a perfect episode right up our alley.
Yeah.
We got some deep dives on what we'll be getting into on here. Available on all platforms, Spotify, YouTube. Definitely give us some love and go follow and give it a listen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, like I said, we're going to do a part 2 of the last episode. We talked Peter Thiel and Palantir. And when I was doing more research, I was seeing the amount of things that Palantir has their hands in, including government, defense, AI, all that stuff. And it's just like, I don't understand how people how this isn't public knowledge. The average person doesn't know what Palantir is. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I'd like you in your own terms, let us all know what Palantir is to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, boy, it goes deep. How long we got, right?
Yeah.
So if we could start at the beginning, that would be total information awareness, which was something that started in 2002, post 9/11, which is very important. The Patriot Act opened up what is possible that we see today.
Okay.
And total information awareness was a unified system, and it was trying to collect data and analyze it to predict and prevent terrorist attacks and things like that before it happened, right? Well, you guys remember Snowden, right?
Yeah.
Eric Snowden.
Okay. So he kind of outed the fact that the NSA was using essentially all this to spy on American citizens. So you can see that they were already in the beginning starting this off. Well, around the same time, they had something called LifeLog, and that became Facebook. The same day that they ended that in DARPA, Facebook started the same day. So you have these kind of things starting to creep up back in 2002 and 3. And now it is metastasized into Palantir and Prism, and that's what we see today. For the first 17 years, they made no profit, and now I believe their stocks are up around Google. So they're a major company, and it's something to watch.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So what's it called? So this goes all the way back to X.com in 1999 with Elon Musk and Peter Thiel. So according to my research, the actual system of Palantir was designed from the system that PayPal uses to detect fraudulent activity. And just like you said earlier about that, I think in total information awareness, their goal is the same thing, is to just be Minority Report. So what they want to do is collect all this data, put it into a database, and have an AI go through like a risk assessment and things like that to see if they can stop things before they happen, which is, like I said, Minority Report, you know what I'm saying? And
Exactly.
It's basically it's a big invasion of privacy, you know what I'm saying? And I was surprised to figure out that they already have systems like this in place. Palantir has contracts with, a bunch of like police departments, FBI, CIA, HSS, and stuff like that. But the big one was Gotham. They're already using this information to spy on people and try to stop crime and stuff like that before it happens. Did you know about that?
I believe it was in New Orleans.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. They said that they shut it down, but since then, ICE has used Palantir systems for the immigrants. With this new big beautiful bill, they were able to secure a lot of military contracts. Palantir also used their drones in Gaza to attack and target a lot of what went on there. Man, we can go on for it. So I want to try to keep it where we can lay it all out, because I do have a lot to say about like both Alex Karp and Peter Thiel, both guys, 2 out of the 3 that own Palantir. But these 2 in particular are some special type of psychopath.
Fucking devils, dude. Especially because Peter Thiel's
really
going to do that conference about the Antichrist or whatever. And then when I'm looking into Alex Karp, that guy's a fucking devil too. But did you get my text message about how he looks like James Halliday from fucking Ready Player One?
He does.
That's
100%.
funny. That's funny.
And there's a video of him where he says, a lot of people have a higher purpose. I'm going to try to quote him. He says, I have a lower purpose. My lower purpose is to take lightly laced urine, fentanyl laced urine, and spray it from drones on people who on advisors who went against us. That's
What
something
the
that he
fuck?
said. He said this in an interview, and so
And
this
he's
is one
trying
guy.
to be like jokey, like that's like he's being
Is he
sarcastic,
though?
right?
Is he though? He put a lot of thought into
yeah.
that. That's a lot of thought to put into that, you know. And then also, you know, he said that we would be in a 3-front war with Iran, China, and Russia. Last year, he said this. Well, did you guys see the military parade with China? And he had Putin and the guy from Iran, the leader there, and Kim Jong Un, and they were doing the military parade.
Wow.
And Trump says, you know, congratulations on your military parade and conspiring against. I hope you have a great day conspiring against the United States of America.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
But the thing is, dude, it's all theater, man.
Yeah,
It's
of
all
course, of course.
pre-predicted. It's been pre-planned. But what I'm saying is, this guy Alex Karp a year ago says he owns Palantir. He says we're gonna be in a 3-front war. He's a psycho that uses his drones to kill innocent Gazans. And you got Peter Thiel that takes young people's blood and injects it in himself because he wants to live forever.
Good Lord, have mercy.
We can get a little bit deeper into that later because I do have a listener who hit me up because she worked at Facebook.
Oh, wow.
She knew a lot of tech. Yeah, she knew a lot of tech guys, and she kind of got deep into like kind of seeing how they were, but she thinks like us, right?
Yeah.
And so she quit working there a while back. She just went to a party recently with a guy that works at Palantir.
What?
And so there's all these Palantir people that she's at a party with, dude.
That's
And
crazy.
she says this, I swear to God. I asked her what was some stuff that they said, right?
Mm-hmm.
She said, it's so interesting. They hate humanity. They think of flesh and blood as a lowly, disgraceful form. I was shocked how openly it was spoken about because usually when you hear Thiel talk, he uses a padded language to make his propaganda easier on the ears. But their techno-libertarian, transhumanist ideology was on full display that day whenever she was there, she said.
Wow.
And so
He's a fucking reptilian, man.
Oh yeah,
they want to live
Peter
forever.
Thiel,
They want to live.
the reptile. Remember Peter
Yeah.
Thiel?
So these are
anagram?
these are transhumanists that believe that they are going to be bestowed everlasting life,
Yes.
and then these useless mouth breathers, the rest of us,
Yeah.
right,
Yes.
are the people that just need to go, right? And so that's why we got to watch this, man. It's really something to be paying attention to.
I think a lot of people got to really realize the size that Palantir has on the world.
Yeah, the severity
control.
of their actual system.
Yeah, they have contracts with the IDF.
Yep.
And they have contracts with a bunch of other companies. They
Whoever
have contracts with Wendy's.
Whoever wants to use their stuff, they're gonna work with them. Yeah, they did. What I think it was Burger King or something. They did right. They did the marketing for them and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And they
Really?
also,
I didn't
don't
see
know.
that.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're already doing it, but the Palantir is trying to, or I think there's a health insurance company that is trying to have a contract with Palantir so it could use their AI to analyze and reject healthcare insurance claims.
Yeah,
You know
just
what
like
I mean?
the United Healthcare
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So the thing, yeah. So I know what you're talking about. There's a major. They made, like I said earlier, they got a big contract with the military. They also got a major contract. So, all right. So everything has been separate. The HHS, the IRS, and the Social Security Administration, right?
Yep.
And so what Palantir is going to do is they're going to take all of these entities, your taxes, your IRS,
Get all the
your Social
information
Security
from all of them.
Administration, get it all, and it's going to be under one umbrella. And everybody
Yes.
always says, well, they've always had our information. It's no big deal. True. But they've never had it
but-
under one umbrella
Yeah,
where
yeah,
they can study
consolidated.
your behavior along with your keystrokes and your Google searches, along with there's a few other things that go into this when we're talking transactions and financial history. That's why they
Yes.
want everything digital,
Yes.
digital currency.
Digital currency,
yeah.
And as well, they you have other guys like Sam Altman, who owns ChatGPT, OpenAI. There's something called the Orb, where you go and look into it, and it'll give you a biometric, like it'll confirm that you're a human being, and it'll give you a number. It'll give you a number attached to your iris, so your specific
What?
iris is special, right? Everybody's got a
Yeah.
like
There's
a
no
And that's
fingerprint.
what they consider a biometric ID, right?
And so then people say that the window to the soul is your eyes, right?
Yes. Wow.
Come on, bro.
Yes.
This is deep shit that they're doing
well,
here.
not only
And
that, but let's connect it because
on a deep level.
They want to have Neuralink, and then I also saw that they want to have that connected to like a global cloud. So it's like if everyone has a Neuralink and it's on a global cloud, but not only that, but we have this whole AI system that's analyzing all this data. They can do whatever the fuck they want. They can be like, dude, Jeremy down there, he's fucking hasn't paid his fucking taxes and shit, so we're gonna cut off his whole bank account and his medication.
Was that Black Mirror where she had a medical condition and she went on trial, and then all of a sudden she started getting advertisements because she couldn't afford her subscription, and then they kept upselling her saying, oh, well, you have to upgrade to this plan now because we have a better plan, you know?
Yeah, bro.
And then she just started going crazy, but that's kind of like what it'll lead to.
Yeah, no, for sure it will. You know, they're going to have your health, your behavior data, all linked to systems.
Yeah, predictive behavior. So they'll know what potentially
and they'll predict
where
your compliance.
Yes,
Predicting compliance is mainly important.
And that brings up the CBDC. And basically, what I thought crypto was it's a way they sold it as a way to decentralize stuff. But when you learn how the blockchain technology works, it works that everybody can see the list of transactions, but your anonymity is tied to your key. But if they have all this biometric and AI data that can tie you to that, then the anonymity that's associated with the blockchain network is fucking gone and shit. And it's the perfect system to have a centralized bank.
There's still hackers and stuff that can get through, like with VPNs and stuff with
Oh, absolutely.
With stuff like a wallet, which is why people like us are pushing to buy stuff with Bitcoin. Therefore, you don't have to transfer it to a bank and release your information. Yeah. So there's plenty of ways if you're smart enough to keep your anonymity with your wallet. But these guys want you to KYC everything, show who you are with the crypto. That's what they're getting into.
Not only that, but I mean, if they have this whole AI system that can stop crimes before they happen, I'm pretty sure eventually it would be able to find out everyone's keys and stuff like that. You know?
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely.
Yeah. Do you think they're pushing for a CBDC, bro?
Yes, 100%. BlackRock is heavy on board. You know, and speaking of BlackRock, you know, whenever they said that you'll own nothing and be happy, the company that made sure to secure that was BlackRock. They bought up all the housing.
Yep.
And now the CEO that did all that is running the WEF, the one that said you'll own nothing and be happy. Well, so it's funny how everything comes back full circle with these guys, you know? And they do back the central bank digital currency as well. So it's going to happen.
Remember the screenshot I sent you the other day about the company I work for?
Oh yeah, his company's owned by BlackRock.
they're like one of the top 3 largest shareholders.
I'm telling you,
because I work for a big company, so yeah.
Yeah, the stakeholders of most big companies are and the thing is, so you have them and you have State Street and Vanguard. And
Vanguard's another one.
And they own each other. So whenever you break it down,
it's the same people.
One entity. Yes. And the WEF said that, you know, all the countries are going to be ran by venture capitalists. When this technocratic system is ran, you're going to have Palantir doing its job with everything we're talking about. You're going to have the CBDCs and everything else doing its job to help them do their job, right?
Yep.
But then you're also going to have, how's the country's going to look then in this world?
It's going to be tied to your credit score and your biometrics and your carbon footprint and your fucking
medication. Credit score is all is what it's leading to,
And nations are run by venture capitalists. Yeah. And that's what they want. And that's where we're really headed. And so whenever you look into Curtis Yarvin, is a very important character. Probably equally as important as Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel, a lot of his ideologies for how it should look comes from Curtis Yarvin. He believes that we should get rid of the democratic system and go into a corporate monarchy and have CEO kings. So essentially you would have a monarchy system that's ran like a corporation by a guy like Larry Fink, right? Like a venture capitalist guy.
They're already trying to push that in there with Trump being president and then fucking Elon being like in the cabinet, like where he was for a while and whatnot. And then there's also a quote from Peter Thiel that says, he goes, technology is an incredible alternative to politics. You know what I'm saying? So it fits 100%. Right into what you're saying.
That's what they feel like. And Curtis Yarvin, his parents were feds, and he's a major, major contributor to all of their ideologies. You got to read his work. He had something called Patchwork, where he he put out a thought, maybe we should turn all the underclass into biodiesel fuel. And he said, well, obviously, people would not feel too great about that. So instead, we could virtualize them, and they'll feel like they'll live in a pod and they'll be fed or whatever, and they'll be virtualized forever and feel like they have a good life. So this is the type of people we're dealing with here. And then they take a venture capitalist, J.D. Vance.
Yeah.
They pay him to
Yo,
go into politics.
The biggest congressional donation from one single person to J.D. Vance from Peter Thiel.
Exactly.
Peter Thiel. Yep.
And J.D. Vance is a venture capitalist.
Yep.
And so they want a man like that in the White House to start running the government like they want it ran, because this country is already in a technocratic system. We just don't know it yet. And it hasn't really clamped down in a way where we can recognize it. We feel like it's still America in the way that we see, but you see all the cameras everywhere, the CCTs. There's things like Project Esther and the Canary mission that are already out that have secured our fate. And unfortunately, I worry. I think people right now, what they're doing right now is they're telling everybody about all the fucked up corruption and all the things going on, like Israel, and letting people get mad so their heads stick their head up like groundhogs, that way they could get whacked. Whack-a-mole shit, bro.
Yeah.
And so I think right now that's the stage of seeing who feels what way. And that's where we are right now. And I've already secured my fate clearly, but I'm just saying, dude, like I already fell into it too late anyway, but I can see what's going on. The game's being ran right now, but the system's already in place, importantly.
Yeah, I think if we're talking politics, we also got to mention, if you guys are still stuck in this fucking bi-party illusion where you think it's Democrats versus Republicans, you're fucking out of your fucking mind. It's a fucking uniparty. And where I got most of this information was Tinfoil Hat, I think episode 891 with 7 C's. And he was also explaining how all these guys have connections to like these super left-leaning people. The chick that was with Occupy Wall Street and Black Lives Matter and stuff, all these people at the top are working together.
Yep.
You know
always
what I'm saying?
have been, always will be.
And not only that, but if I want to talk about the Biden presidency real quick and how they just opened up all the borders and shit, it kind of almost seems like, okay, we know Donald Trump's going to be back in 4 years, so let's fucking open the borders so that the Republicans have something to bitch about. Not only that, but they could have a problem to implement Palantir because they were trying to implement it for the immigration riots, right?
Yeah, 100%. And then also, whenever you look at the Minneapolis shooter that just happened recently, what happens right away?
Yeah, he was like that dude that came out and was like, man, we've been working on this and it was coming out next week, but if it would have came out last week, we would have stopped this shooter.
It's called Gideon software. Very, very similar to Gotham software.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same. It's just a different guy. He's using Palantir engineers, and it's Israeli software.
Yep.
Now, the Israeli software matters because the project I mentioned a minute ago, Project Esther, as well as the Canary mission, are both Israeli projects, which are actually put out to make a list of people who are anti-Semitic. And anti-Semitic now is people against Israel, not just Jews. And
it's such a wide umbrella.
There's what I said a minute ago about the list being made. I wasn't joking. They've done it. And this company that is doing that, Gideon and Palantir, they're working with the Project Esther in the Canary mission. So you have to remember, that's the system you're against. So you're against the system that we've watched to commit genocide for the past 3 years. They're going to be running the system that's going to then run the world. And this gets into end time prophecy, where you're talking like, the Goyim all get killed, whatever, if you're talking from a Jewish point of view. And whenever they, run the world essentially, and their savior comes, which is the Antichrist essentially, then they get to put everybody under their thumb. And that's what I think we're walking into, man. And I think it's manufactured prophecy not to have actual Jews run it.
Yes.
And so that's the thing you have to remember as well. It's the bankers and things like that who are Zionists that are also say they're Jews, but most of them really aren't. They're just Anglo-American bankers who claim Zionism.
Yeah, Steeler Free said he was going to go kiss the wall with his hat the other day, but...
I heard.
Hell no, we went to go see the Dead Sea Scrolls, and this guy found the shekels.
That'd be fire.
Yep. Hey, and we saw his aunt there. Oh yeah, I think this guy's CIA.
Hey, my aunt was there.
This guy's CIA and IDF.
That's fire.
Nah, hey, but guys, our fucking freedoms are fucking under attack right now. You know what I'm saying?
They've already been swept from under our feet.
We're not going to be able to have an opinion. You know what I mean? Without them shutting off our finances, our fucking medication. Eventually, if they want to fucking try to have power over transportation, like they said, no one's going to own cars. There'll probably be these cars that just take you to and from places. They can probably remonte control that shit.
We're going to be like UK already, where they arrest you for tweets.
Yeah.
We're talking about this predictive shit extends on an ideological level for non-compliance, for political dissenters, like who will commit violence. It's not really about that. It's more about who will resist the system, right?
Yes.
And so then once you're flagged, then you can get a restriction level, like a no-fly list, freeze finances, you get denied healthcare access, blacklist employment. I mean, it turns into a full digital system where every company you work for, healthcare place you go to, fucking house you try to get, it uses the same system that tells you like this person's got a yellow, red, or green fucking flag.
Exactly.
And that's what it's going to turn into, man. And it's not pretty worth letting it happen.
And they're already implementing this. I got this information and you guys just got to listen to this. Domestic policing and predictive analysis. Agencies have used Palantir's Gotham software to map connections between persons of interest, including data like license plate reads, phone records, social media activity, criminal histories, and more. For instance, the LAPD's Operation Laser scored individuals based on interactions with police and flagged them for closer monitoring or intervention. So that's already fucking happening in our fucking hometown. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's insane.
Another thing is like sometimes people get pulled over, right? And they'll have whatever, a little bit of dope on them. And the cops will be like, I'll give you a warning or whatever. They think they got away. Now you're being watched for the rest of the time.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're going to collect even more data. They're going to look into your past now.
Yeah, I heard about someone that they would get pulled over and let go all the time. And the thing was they had a Fed case on them.
Yep.
So basically the local police had to let them go because if they did anything, they'd be interfering with the federal case.
Yep. But
Fucking
then they
insane.
also document every single time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
And then
you're
use
fucked.
it against you later.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, let's bring it back to fucking DARPA because the more you dig, the more you realize all of these big tech moguls are fucking puppets for DARPA. You know what I'm saying? Including fucking Jeff Bezos, who's I think his grandfather started DARPA, right?
Started it.
Can you talk a little bit about DARPA?
Yeah, his grandpa started DARPA. I believe it was called something LARPA or something right before that.
Yeah.
And yeah, he started that.
LARPs.
And, exactly. All these guys, they always happen to come from some kind of intelligence background and/or military background. Yes. For instance, when you're talking intelligence background, Robert Maxwell had a lot of play in what this stuff was in the very beginning. So Peter Thiel had a lot of funding from Epstein. Robert Maxwell did a lot of funding and fucking around with the Prometheus software, which was 1980s software.
Wow.
We're talking 1980s surveillance software originally designed by Inslaw for U.S. prosecutors, but he used it with a backdoor to be able to sell to different governments worldwide different information, and it gave Israel unprecedented access to global financial, diplomatic, and intelligence databases. So in other words, he put a backdoor in it for Israel so that way they could use that shit to their advantage, and then they used it all over the country, all over the world.
Well, not only that, but that fucking is just the doorway to open what the fuck Jeffrey Epstein was doing, because you said Robert Maxwell and the Epstein connection. So if they're using that fucking software since the 1980s, what the fuck do you think was going on with Epstein?
And we'll get to that as well, because I got you on that.
God,
so
bro.
Robert Maxwell, I don't know if you knew this. Do you guys know? I know you guys live, in California. Did you guys have textbooks? Did you guys have McGraw-Hill?
Hill.
Was
I remember that.
That was owned by Robert Maxwell's publishing company.
No way.
So So that's owned by his publishing company. Why do you think you only heard about Hitler and not Stalin in those books, right? You know what I mean? Like there's different kind of twists. Yep. So you got to watch that. And the same thing with the Encyclopedia Britannica. Robert Maxwell, he was MI6, KGB, and Mossad.
God,
MI6,
all the special agencies, all the intelligence agencies.
And the fucking Encyclopedia Britannica owns the Webster Dictionary, which changes definitions all the time.
Yep.
And again, and this is why, right? You got these guys, they change the history, they change the definitions of things, and then a generation goes by, and now you're just a crazy conspiracy theorist for saying something like
that's why. Yeah, I'm gonna be.
Goes,
I already
man.
say I'm gonna be that crazy grandpa in the future talking about some shit. The fuck are you talking about, Grandpa? Bro, you off your meds again? What the fuck are you talking about?
Epstein also poured money into cutting edge research at Harvard, MIT, and Stanford. These are all places that were doing a lot of transhumanist research, brain computer, AI, genetics, interfaces. So this is the guy that kept that going, along with Palantir, which was supposed to be the system running it. Again, I mentioned Israel is going to be kind of running the system, and you got two Mossad guys that are doing blackmail on all these people here and scientists that way they could get them to make this shit for them. And clearly, dude, it's a clear indicator of what's going on, dude. It's actually nuts.
Definitely.
We're never gonna get that fucking list, because if the average Joe knew the connection between Jeffrey Epstein and Robert Maxwell and Peter Thiel and Palantir, this shit would have never fucking went down.
Well, what if there was never really an actual list?
We're never gonna get information,
and it was stewed up, you know, to be like the list, just so it's something to talk about. Like, because obviously there's people that have been there. There might be some sort of documentation.
Well, my point is, there's not going to be any real repercussions or revealing of real information, because it's going to show the connection between all these guys that are fucking trying to control the world and fucking Epstein.
Agreed. It's been how long? You know what I mean? It's like, duh, we're not
Which
getting
makes
shit.
sense why he was blackmailing politicians. It fucking makes so much sense now, bro.
Now, but not only that, now we're at a point where we're gonna have a system that is it could blackmail everybody at any time, right? It knows what it knows what porn you watch, right? It knows what you're doing on your phone. It knows what you got going on. I mean, you got
it can search your email records for keywords, bro.
Yeah, dude, the guy. I mean, you guys have heard of Pegasus, right? Pegasus is an Israeli software where all they need is your phone number, and they can get into everything in your phone, every single thing you're doing, all your pictures, all your emails, all your texts, all your keystrokes, all of it, right? And so, you know, this guy, you know, Epstein, he was in contact with the Peter Thiel and the PayPal mafia figures, and Reid Hoffman, the LinkedIn guy.
Yeah.
And LinkedIn, of course, another one where it's like your business and your network.
They're constantly selling your information on LinkedIn.
And they know who you talk to. Yeah. They know all your contacts.
Yeah. It seems like they're just trying to make life so unbearable that it's almost like the average person is just going to be like, fuck real life, just plug me into the fucking metaverse. You know what I'm saying? And that brings me to GTA 6 too, because it's like they keep pushing back the fucking release date for it, which is fine. I want to fucking play it. But then also too, it almost seems like they're trying to prep us and prime us and get us excited for maybe an alternate reality, virtual reality, or even an augmented reality. Well, imagine if they had headsets that are just fucking changed, like, if you don't pay your bill and shit, it's just gonna show you fucking spiders and fucking the shit that you're scared of or some shit.
I was talking about it last time. Remember, I told you they just dropped the simulator. I don't know if you've seen it, but you can type prompts in real time. So like you're walking down the street, it's a video, and then you're like, all right, a cat walks in front of me. All of a sudden, the cat walks in front of you while your regular image is still going.
Oh, shit.
So it's live prompts, like, as you're going.
And you can think about it, too. Eventually, it'll be just like, thinking about it, it'll happen.
Exactly. That's kind of like how people would say real life really is, right? There's just
the brain interface. Yeah, you manifest instantly. And as well, you know, that's what makes me always wonder about all these woo-woo things, man. Like, you know, you manifest everything. Well, is that just a pre-programming for like plugging you in so you can manifest everything, so you can make that reality? Oh, you know, astral projection and all these different things to get you to disassociate your subconscious from your biological body. That's exactly what these motherfuckers are trying to do, bro. So I wonder how much of this extends from MK Ultra, because when you're looking at MK Ultra, which I'm doing a huge series on right now, but it's coming from the angle of looking at what's going on today, the different movements like ufology, telepathy tapes, astral projection documents, and all that, the CIA documents that came out. What does that put out there to get you to believe that you could do that whenever really it's a technique used in MK Ultra to get people to be more suggestible? And then you're being programmed every day, and suggestible shit is happening every day from your phone and your TV. So all they need you to do is you do some work on your own, and then you start doing that shit. Next thing you know, the programming starts working better, right? And so now you're MK Ultra in yourself, dude. And so I wonder, man, the more I get into this, I'm really thinking, dude, it's a lot of false transparency out there.
Yeah.
And so you got to watch for that shit, man.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
crazy.
dude, the MK Ultra data and whatever they got from that, I'm pretty sure they definitely used that when they started creating like, you know, like social media and just getting us attached to our phones and stuff like that. Like it makes too much sense for them to know what our
free,
brains
so
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's free, so you're the product, right?
Yes,
So,
yes.
Exactly.
And the product is understanding and studying your behavior, your thought, the way your patterns of doing things, you know. And then now they've done it for so long, just subtly. Here we are, you know.
Yeah,
The Cambridge Analytica scandal with the data and everything, that all wasn't for nothing, right? Those are little
Right, the biggest data
breadcrumbs.
breach in history.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
And
when
it wasn't a breach,
when we're supposed
right?
to have the strongest security in history right
Exactly.
now.
It wasn't a breach.
No,
that shit was
definitely.
given out. It's just like the Cold War where they're like, oh, we aren't sharing any information
Yeah.
with those KGB guys. And
yeah,
they're over here
right.
passing back and forth brainwashing information.
Yep. Brainwashing ended up brainwashing themselves.
It's crazy how we always hear the one world government, the new world order, and they're trying to take over the world. And it seems so plausible how they can do it digitally. You know what I'm saying? With all these systems and stuff like that. And
Yes.
that brings me up to, did you hear about how Amazon, Google, and Microsoft are partnering to have a satellite-based cloud system?
Yeah, I believe that. You know, the Golden Dome, I believe, is part of that, where they're going to use that setup. It's just Terminator and Minority Report put together.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It's what we're looking at with the Matrix added to it, of course, for the underclass, right? And so that's where we're at. I mean,
Imagine if they
these
had
were
this database
documentaries.
stored in a cloud, bro. Like, there's no getting away from it, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, and what they're gonna sell it as is it's gonna be a hive mind, right?
Yeah.
So there's a hive mind, and that's the whole idea of a one consciousness, right? Where everybody
Yeah.
can
Yep.
telepathically speak. They're gonna make all of the Gnostic spiritual teachings come true digitally, and I think it's a false. This is the Antichrist shit. This is a false. This is a false awakening, a false enlightenment.
What do you think? What do you think he's gonna say at his Antichrist conference? Do you think he's just gonna come out and be like, "Here I am"?
Hey, bro,
I think he's gonna say we're making
That's
Go
a
ahead.
private event, right? With like super
It
expensive
is.
tickets. So like, who are these
Exactly.
people that bought these tickets to go to this event? Right?
Fucking
'Cause
Palantir shareholders.
it's crazy.
If you're out there, you go to the show. Please hit me up. You got my Gmail and all the descriptions.
yeah,
of my episodes.
yeah.
Please let me
Any
know. I want
information,
any
please.
information. I'll tell you what. I think he's gonna say something along the lines of, "It said that we were made in God's image, but it's so ironic we had it wrong. We're gonna make God in our image, right? And so it's gonna be something along those lines.
Fuck that.
From what I've read,
okay.
about him, that's the type of shit we're looking at, dude.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you know, he says he's Christian. He's an esoteric Christian, whatever that means, right?
Oh, good lord.
So it's, you know,
I'll
so,
fucking fight
Don't
him.
they all say they're Christian though? Come on.
I'll fight him.
yeah, yeah, they do.
Yeah.
You know, George Bush. If you're asking if I've been born again, the answer is yes. I love that, dude. What a way with words.
Yeah.
What a way with words.
Did you see? I don't know if you saw the tinfoil hat with 7 C's, but he was talking about how there's a company called Colson Capital or something like that does a lot of work with Rumble, and they own a lot of the companies that sponsor a lot of the alternate media kind of people like conspiracy theorists and stuff like that, Laura Loomer and stuff like
Yep.
that. What do you think about that? Do you think that these people are controlled opposition, or do you think they're being used and they don't know it?
You know, I think it could be both,
Both.
right? So, like, for
Yeah.
instance, whenever you're talking about Nick Fuentes, right? So he's a guy that says a lot of things that are true, but him at his core is a person that I think serves the system well. I think at one point he really was banned.
Yeah.
I think he really
Yeah.
was saying shit before the system allowed it. And now it serves his purpose. And even if he isn't controlled op, he's being pushed inorganically to where there is no difference.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
And so that's the way it's done, right? So you don't have to even do it the way that 7 C's is even talking about. You can inorganically push people ahead because of their sentiment and the way they speak.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think he's a character that could be just that. But also, you know, Rumble, I mean, they pay in Bitcoin, so I don't trust them.
Just
I mean,
like 7
it's-
C's on Isaac Weishaupt, right? Where he was talking about Sam, and he was like,
yeah.
you know, and it's like Isaac's like, there's there's no way Sam.
I drive a Mitsubishi.
Yeah, like there's no way Sam.
I love how he waited till he was over there to talk about that.
Exactly.
I mean,
Me
he's
too.
like,
Yeah. I
It's
found
like
that
just say it
interesting.
to him, right?
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, they had a whole discussion about that. Yeah.
If you got beef with somebody or even no beef, just the question, always just say it. You know what I mean? Like, just say it, dude. I mean, it helps your reputation, I feel like, in this game especially.
100%.
He was talking about the Mega Wellness sponsorship, and Johnny looked it up on the show, and he was like, actually, yeah, we did get some offers from them. So it's like their point was like, okay,
they were straight about it.
These companies could have malicious intentions, but they're hitting us up. We need to pay our bills. Like, we didn't know about this.
Not everybody does 100% research on who the owner of this company,
the owner of the shell company.
Exactly.
It's
like, you know.
And I want to also talk about Nick Fuentes, or like, you know, guys that are controlled op, because I think they do start out as oppositions to the elite, but I think they do find their place for them, because a lot of these guys will have blind spots. Like you said, like they'll have information or they'll have a good opinion about something and something and something, and then this total opinion, they'll be either super off on it or they'll never talk about it. And it's like, how come you don't ever talk about that subject? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the Catholic Church for Nick Fuentes, the thing for me is the Catholic Church. It's like, okay, so you're against pedophilia, you want to see the Epstein tapes, but you're cool with the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Equally, the touches kids equally is bad.
Why do you have that blind spot? You know, it just gives you away.
Well, because it's always and that's what makes me think he might be actually controlled op, is how hard he goes for the Catholic Church. Because you can't count the Vatican out of this.
Exactly.
You know, there's a book called The Two Babylons, and I think I mentioned it last time I was on here, but it's a very, very important book when understanding how Babylon split off and was able to really, I mean, its ideology permeates almost everything except for mainly Christianity. If you were to look at like just like red letter Jesus shit, like that's like the only thing. But other than that, there's like, if you look at the Christian Bible and then the Catholic Bible, it's very, very different.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got all the like the different angels and the, you know, saints and everything. It's very different. Yeah. And I think that that's for a reason. That's why you have the Crusades and the Dark Ages and everything else. They weren't given the word of God necessarily. I think they were killing anybody that wouldn't take their version of the word of God,
you know,
which was
crazy.
a pagan version.
Over here where we live, the middle school I went to used to be called the Crusaders. And while I was in middle school, they had to change the name, and they chose the Falcons. But yeah, we're the Fleming Crusaders. Yeah, and then around that time,
the Falcons, almost like Horus. Very funny, you know, because when you're talking, I mean, that's so funny because the two Babylons. I mean, they didn't change it. Change it to fucking something else, dude.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that. It had to be the other thing that represents the same thing. It's kind of weird to me.
It's crazy,
because again, the two Babylons. That's how you trace the two Babylons. There's the Catholic Church, the Crusaders, or the mystery school Babylon, the Egyptian. It's the same thing. So it's very funny.
Yeah, dude. How do we stop this thing that's in motion? What's your opinion on that?
Well, once the big beautiful bill passed, I couldn't really see a way out of this without.
It's a beautiful bill. It's big.
Yeah. without a I wouldn't want to say like revolution, but like without some kind of serious, I wouldn't even say uprising, because here's the thing, like we're talking about a system that's in place that's supposed to lock us down if we did something like that. So we're at a point now where I don't know, man. I mean, it really takes a lot of lobbying against foreign lobbying in our government, getting rid of the Fed, getting rid of taxes, getting rid of all these things that the
Republican Party tried to honeypot us on. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna get rid of the fucking Federal Reserve and all that. Okay, and now you're trying to do a CBDC? The fuck?
Yep. They said all the right things that probably would have fixed a lot of the problems.
Yes.
And right now we could have went back onto the gold standard, at least for a while, because, gold's up a lot. So, I mean, we could have went back on it. We could go back onto the gold standard for a while and get off the fiat currency. I mean, it's a matter of the bankers again, and that's why they want the venture capitalists to own everything, because the bankers have always been behind the scenes, behind the kings, behind, the kings owe the debts, but really they're being controlled by the bankers, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, now the venture capitalists are just going to outwardly own everything, because they're going to have a system that will keep the centers down. And that is a scary system. And so I don't know, really. I mean, I know how it would look if what we need to do policy wise.
Yeah.
But getting that done is something that could take a serious uprising.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
really
seems
could.
impossible
But it would
right
take
now.
it would take an organized uprising, and I don't see much of that.
Yeah, it's
happening.
not like, us talking about it here and a couple podcasts there. Like, we do our job to try to like spread it, but that's just not gonna actually push it over that edge.
Yeah.
Not whenever you have too many people that say, I just try to focus on what I can control.
Yes.
Or you have too many people that
Yes.
say, I just want to pay my bills. It's like, yeah, well, it could all be easier and we could live a life of true
Yeah.
freedom
Facts.
if you got on this bandwagon for a minute. Yeah, it takes sacrifice right now. But Stalin said that. I mean, he had a chicken and he would pluck all of its feathers and then he would like put little nicks on it with a knife and put little slits on it. And then he would throw a piece of corn on the ground and the chicken would follow him everywhere. Even though he treated him like that. And Stalin would look over to somebody. He said, "This is how you treat people. You just fucking beat them down and then give them a little bit. And give them just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Just enough.
And that's what the fuck we're looking at right now, dude.
Yeah.
The Bolshevik Revolution was mostly ran by these same it was funded by the Wall Street bankers. It was funded by the same people that funded Hitler into power and got Israel created and created this world that we're in right now. And they had something called the secret police. It was called the Chexva. And that's what we're looking at today with Palantir. It's a digital Chexva. Yeah, so.
Fuck, man. I mean,
We're living in the Bolshevik times, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
they said trust the plan back then in the Bolshevik Revolution. They got the Workmen's Party to like go with these people that they said that they were on their side, and they weren't, man. And they overthrew everything. And then, that's what we're looking at.
A lot of people don't understand that like the plans that are taking place have been planned for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they've been working on this stuff, and slowly but surely it'll go into effect, whether it's their grandkids who benefit from them.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
And
it seems like
I do this because go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, man, I do this because I worry about my kids, of course, and I want them to have a good life. And
Yeah.
as soon as I had a kid, COVID happened, and all this crazy shit started to unfold in a way that really woke me up in a different way. Like I was kind of always into a lot of conspiracies and esoteric knowledge, Freemasonry. I was kind of like big into the New Age stuff. I thought enlightenment was the thing and that I could achieve and all this shit, right? Buddhist Zen, all that shit. And once that happened, I opened my eyes to all the shit going on controller wise, right?
Yes.
Like the real shit, not just this
Yes.
woo-woo conspiracy shit.
Yeah.
And once I got into all that, the deeper I got into the ideologies of the controllers, the more I recognized that they want you to get into that shit because that's their ideology, and they sell it as this flowery self-enlightenment, but it's Luciferianism at the end of the day, and it's all about man becoming God and throwing away his true creator.
Shit,
That's what it's about.
That's
That's where we're at.
It seems like their strategy is to promise you something in hopes to get you on board so they can give you the exact opposite. Like I talked about cryptocurrency earlier, and they sold it as being decentralized, but when you really look at it and how the system's going, it's gonna be super centralized. You know what I mean? And that makes me think, like, who the fuck is Satoshi Nakamoto? You know what I'm saying? Like it makes exactly. It makes it more seem like it's a group of guys that wanted this to go this way, and we're selling you this cryptocurrency that's supposed to be decentralized, but in the end, it's gonna centralize the whole world. You know what I'm saying?
As soon as I read about all this and kind of started learning about it, I was like, yeah, this is exactly that. It was almost my instinctual. I had a primordial knowledge of this.
Yeah.
As soon as I fucking read about it, I was like, oh no, it's inversion. This is inversion, and it's being done by the devil, whether you believe it or not, and whether you believe it in a biblical way or not. Who gives a fuck? But it's being done by an inhuman force, and whether it's something feeds on negative energy in this world that we live in.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the fuck it is or how to explain it, but I do understand that it wants to make this life as big of a struggle for human consciousness and the soul as it can, and make it what we're seeing today. And I say that to say that, like, yeah, dude, it's definitely worth figuring out who you are, I guess,
Find
because these
yourself.
motherfuckers just want to confuse your reality all day and have you lost in this constant Honestly, it used to be, that people would just have thoughts. I feel like now most people live in just blank space waiting for input.
Yeah, yeah, bro.
Like I'm
waiting for
for
their
input
algorithm
so I
to
could
tell them
give
what
an
they
output.
think and believe.
Exactly. Like I'm waiting on it to get inputted in so I could. And I have like a real discernment, so whenever I read like the Bitcoin shit, I was like, oh yeah, dude, this is inversion because we live in an inverted fucking world, and you can
Yeah.
recognize inversion if you use your critical thinking
Yes.
process.
Yeah.
It's almost like when you meet someone and they tell you like, I'm not this, and then you realize they are that. Like one time I was doing the booking for my band, and this booker, which she was like, I started to talk to her and she was like, yeah, I'm not hard to work with, I'm not fucking. And then eventually as I got down to the conversation, I'm like, yeah, we're not gonna work with you because you're very hard to work with.
if you weren't, you wouldn't have to say it.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yep. I got a question for you,
Reminds
man.
me.
Do you think we see a JD Vance presidency, and if so, how soon? Do you think it's going to be within the 4 years and he's going to step up because something happens to Donald Trump, or do you think it happens in the next term? What do you see with that?
I think it's very, very likely that Trump doesn't make it through the 4 years for sure.
Wow. Yeah, because a lot of people are saying the same thing that they were saying about Biden a few years ago. And they're saying about Trump that he's too old. He looks like he's withering away.
Yeah, now they're saying he's looking bad, like his health's looking bad and all this stuff.
We could boil it down to something this simple, guys. Trump was in a casket in The Simpsons.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
The fucking Simpsons,
and I'm pretty
dog.
sure he was I'm pretty sure he was president during that time too. So I don't know, man. But even if you don't want to get wild with that, they've definitely been doing a lot of predictive programming, talk about his hospitalization, his bruises. JD Vance is saying, "I'm willing to take over the White House if anything happens." That's very weird and uncalled for. He served his purpose. He got the big beautiful bill through. The AI infrastructure is being built. We have camps being built that can house the people that are dissenters, and they're going to call it for illegals and all the things that they need to do because national security. This goes back to the beginning. Total information awareness was created. Palantir was created because of a national security threat. They're now using national security from crime and from illegals to do what they're doing right now, which is deploy the National Guard, create camps, and create an infrastructure that can handle the control of any issues.
And I'm glad you brought that up because it's all fucking manufactured. Like I said about earlier, the Democratic Party opened the border to make it a problem for the Republican Party. It's just problem, solution. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Do you know about the replacement theory and like migration theory? So like the Club of Rome a long time ago, they said that we need to lower the population. And everybody talks about how they said that they're going to lower the population by like 2/3, right?
Oh, shit.
A lot of people have heard that and talked about that conspiracy, but another part of it was that they want to migrate people all over because when you do that, it destroys the culture of each country and turns it into this weird fusion, just problems, right? And the answer you sell to that with war and everything else, and poverty and lack of food and inflation, then you can sell people this system. And that's what I think that was for. I think that's a big part of it, huge part of it.
I think the scariest thing about Palantir and them trying to implement this technocracy is that it's a fucking Department of Defense contract company. You know what I mean? They're a fucking military company. Yeah. You know what I mean? And they want to fucking...
They are. Yeah.
They wanted to give them all these databases and fucking have AI keep an eye on us. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is fucking so crazy to me, bro.
Oh, yeah, 100%. But they want to use our differences against us so that way we will then say we don't want anybody to be different. We want it to just be one cohesive system ran by AI uniformly. Everybody's
you will eat
equal.
the bugs.
Even though it's not going to be equal. Yeah, you will.
What do you think the chances that this system is going to be like a part of like a metaverse that people are going to plug into?
What if it already is?
Yeah, the virtualized.
Let me ask you this:
the virtualized part's crazy. Yeah, the virtualizing is something that I wonder if that's possible. But if it is, they definitely would want to do that with people that they just didn't feel was worth using resources.
Yeah. I had that thought. I was what was it? Will cryptocurrency release the need of natural resources? Oh no, will crypto and tech eventually release the need of natural resources? Because if you think about it, if they fucking plug us into a system like the Matrix, we're not going to have any need for water, trees, any of that shit. We're
Well,
not
it
gonna be worried about
depends if
anything
you
in the physical
really
world.
need a vessel to still control your stuff. Because what if without the vessel something gets skewed and they can't measure something? You know.
That's true. That's true.
Well, I think you're touching on something that I did bring up. You know, a lot of the climate change reaction to get all this carbon tax and all these different things going, I believe is because they know that these databases are going to extract a lot of water, a lot of resources, a lot of energy, and they understand that. So they're trying to get people used to the idea of minimizing down to the minuscule level of nothing. Because eventually when they have the control level that they will, they're just getting you used to enough of it until they can lock you down for real. And then it's like, okay, now you get like a tenth of what you fucking were used to before this ever was a thing, right? That's the totalitarian tiptoe that we're looking at today. I think whenever it comes to that, that's what the point of the climate change thing was, I think.
Yeah, and I think we talked about it last time, but there's all these fucking big ass tech companies that are buying all this land and power plants. Microsoft, Amazon, Bill Gates owns like most of the land in the United States.
He owns
and things
like
that.
80% of the farmland.
Yeah, and they're fucking putting these AI centers everywhere. They just put one, I think, in Arizona. They got a bunch in Texas and stuff like that. They're just popping up everywhere, and they need a bunch of water to run.
Yeah, very soon I think we'll be looking at water energy wars for sure. Not even wars, but scarcities because of just the over extraction of all of it at once. Yeah. Just to run a system that just controls people, and that's why they need the depopulation, you know? And how they get that done, I don't know, but unfortunately, man, it only makes sense that you would have to.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, like I said,
and then it will look like the Matrix. Remember how the Matrix looked on the Earth and shit?
Like I was gonna say, I think they're gonna make life so unbearable that you have no choice but to plug in. Because like you said, like when they unplug, there's just rows and rows of pods in this fucking dystopia. You see fucking lightning in the sky and fucking dark ass towers and shit. And it's like, that's not even recognizable at all.
There's another Netflix. I don't know if it was a show or episode. It might have. I keep bringing up Black Mirror for some reason, but it was like, once you get to a certain level, you go to this other side where everything is super glamorous and stuff. But then there's the rebels that don't want to go. But then this one of the rebels sneaks in to see what it's like and stuff.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, but it'll be like that. You know, it'll be two completely different worlds. Like it'll be fucking Project. What is it? Project. What is it? Remember that Project something that weird fucking had that town with all the surveillance and stuff like that. You don't remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
Either way.
Yeah. No, I never saw that one. But Black Mirror was eerily it was eerily right about a lot of shit that's going to happen. But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to look like that's what sucks, man. Even that was kind of wrong in the sense of like, I don't think we're going to be enjoying it like that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe there will be a normal society that gets to live that kind of life, but I wouldn't be a part of it because it means absolute control and absolute, your liberties are gone whenever you live in the world that they portrayed.
Yeah, I'm not fucking plugging in. Let me ask you this. If 99% of the world plugged into like some kind of metaverse, Ready Player One world kind of thing, what are you doing? You staying physical or what? You going digital?
Oh, yeah, physical forever. Yeah, physical forever. Because, the digital means that I lose my humanity.
Yeah.
Not only that,
I won't be doing that.
They can, did we talk about the time prison thing?
No.
How I think they're trying to create a technology to where it'll make you seem as if you are trapped somewhere for a longer, like they'll like put you to sleep for 15 minutes, but it'll seem like you're locked up for like 100 years.
Oh,
or
like a
something
DMT trip.
That's
I
wild,
gotta
bro.
look that. I did
not.
a video on it. I
The digital prison,
up.
bro. The digital prison. That's where we're headed, dude. Because like I said before, man. Like the Gnostics believe that we're put into a prison planet by the demiurge, and they're gonna create a digital version of that and put us in it, dude.
Yeah.
And that's what they're creating right now.
So.
Whether
Peter
it's
Thiel
with the help,
is the demiurge.
yeah, and it could be with the help of the demiurge or not. But either way, I think they are using some kind of entity, non-human force to do this. Because this is next level.
That's what brings the whole biblical and ancient text thing full circle, because you had Anna Paulina Luna on the Joe Rogan podcast talking about how they were all interested in the Book of Enoch to try to figure out what the fuck is going on with the interdimensional creatures and all that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I you know.
And if
I
you
was
read
just
into
upset.
that when the higher dimensional entities like the angels and demons, they've always fucking been here, but we can't see them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you know what's funny about that lady, dude? Her grandpa was a Nazi, and then she changed her name, and she's now a Jew. That's just so funny. I'm sorry, dude. I have to say
that's
it.
hilarious.
Hey, man, what do you want, dude?
Yeah.
My mom's side's Jewish, dude. I could always call this shit out. I don't give a fuck.
Hell yeah.
But you know, it is what it is. It's not all of them, man. But it's ones like that that go on there, and then they don't talk about Epstein that had a Mossad tie with all the black women.
Yes.
She works for the Congress. The Congress leaves the meeting early so they could go to Israel and visit over there whenever the Congress left the meeting early because they brought up Mossad ties to Epstein. And then they go to Israel where the Mossad, come on, bro. I mean, how more clear can you get it? And then she goes on there and talks about everything under the sun except for fucking the Epstein files.
It's the blind spots I told you, bro. The blind spots.
And one more crazy thing is, did you know that the ancient astronaut theory was actually it was done by a Zionist?
What?
So again, dude, we're looking at the same motherfuckers that are pushing the same
Every
ideology.
time.
That makes sense
Demiurge,
because
the demiurge created you, not God. The demiurge created you. Didn't you know that? The Anunnaki, that's who really did it. No, it's all the same thing, in my opinion.
damn.
Go ahead. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
Totally forgot what I was gonna say. I had something. Though. What did you just say right now?
Yeah, I was talking about how oh shit, I forgot because I was like,
we're getting too close. They're zapping the knowledge out of our brains.
Talking about how she was talking about the Anunnaki and how they
they rebranded the demiurge.
Okay, so it's interesting that you say a Zionist came up with the ancient aliens theory, because the further I look into it, the more it seems that aliens aren't coming from some physical place far away. They're interdimensional. And it makes sense that they wouldn't want us to have that discussion. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no, 100%, dude. They this discussion we're having now, I feel like is one I don't hear anywhere. Do you? Do you hear anybody saying the angle that I'm talking about with this? I think maybe there's a few, bro. And that's the shit. It's like weird. It's almost like
as far as the New Age spirituality parallel to the whole technology.
Yeah, and the Anunnaki shit being a rebranding of the, I mean, actually, there's a few like, Nephilim Death Squad actually does a great job with this shit. I have to give them props, bro. They killed it with this shit.
For sure.
I went on there recently, dude. We talked about black goo. We did an episode on black goo on my show and shit, bro. We're talking about programmable liquid, because I think that goes into this where they're trying to use that programmable liquid, get it inside of you via vaccines like Graphenox.
They're coding it and then putting it into you.
Exactly, and then they can connect you to like technology,
like a Bluetooth type thing, and manipulate the code they just entered into.
Hey, wait, and isn't fucking RFK praising mRNA right now?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Okay, so here's the thing with that.
Switch?
Here's the thing with that. So they got rid of 22 mRNA projects, right? And they're saying we just want safe vaccines. These mRNA vaccines aren't safe, right? So he said we're gonna make one vaccine. Now, this one vaccine is a customizable vaccine that is ran by AI, and what they do is they take a piece of your blood or whatever, right? And then they check your genome, and then this vaccine customizes itself to your genome with AI gene therapy.
That's insane.
And then they put it in you, and it will cure cancer, keep you from getting cancer, everything else. Apparently, they say.
I don't believe that. It could fucking analyze all your weak spots and fucking attack them. Or you know what I'm saying? Whatever they program the AI to do.
It'll just instantly make you a Manchurian candidate.
They say it. All right, I got you. They say, yep, exactly. They say it programs itself once it's in you to do whatever it's supposed to do. Now, doesn't that sound like some shit that they? Yeah, it sounds good, doesn't it? Until everybody gets it, and then they're all fucking. Dude, that's where we're at, dude. That's where we're at right now, bro. They have it on all levels, and that's why he wants you to wear wearables. He said that he wants everybody wearing wearables. Once you take that vaccine, then it connects to the wearable with this technology that's like nanobot shit inside of the vaccine. it gets deep, bro. But that's where we're at, dude. For real.
I'm telling you, this whole thing is a bait and switch. You know what I'm saying? I was super RFK. You know what I'm saying? And then now it's just like he's just flipping sides. What the fuck,
False
bro?
The biggest thing was red 40.
Yeah.
For real, dude. False transparency to the max, bro.
Fuck, man. Anyways, you got any other notes, bro?
Dude, I had a great time, man. I love coming on here and talking to you guys.
Fuck yeah, man.
You know, I got another episode coming out about some of this shit that we talked about actually tomorrow. So, you know, hopefully if you guys enjoyed everything, you
send
guys
it
go
over.
check that
I'll
shit
check it out.
out.
So this will come out 2 days after. So make sure you guys go check out his episode. Yeah,
it'll already be out. Yeah.
So-
we go deep, man. We talk about what they want, dude. Yeah, like I said, we're doing a silent weapons series. It's fucking
sweet.
It's getting deeper than I thought it would, bro. I don't know how I'm gonna because I'm trying to start this premium feed, which I'm gonna get going because we aren't gonna deal with sponsors. Because then we don't gotta worry about 7 C's coming out. So we're gonna go full into that, and I want to make it to where our first launch episode for that is a 9/11 deep dive. But I've just got so much going on with the silent weapons shit. It's just hard. So lots of research. It's a good time, but
tap in
hey,
with
brother.
him. Yeah,
you're doing the Lord's work, man. Keep fucking doing it. Like I said, guys, they're attacking our fucking freedoms. They're attacking our privacy,
our minds.
You know what I'm saying? Do some research. Research the shit we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Do a quick Google. Talk to ChatGPT.
Stop listening to trap music for 3 hours and put on a goddamn podcast and listen to something.
I barely listen to music anymore, bro.
Go listen to Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, or not listen to. Go read Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. It's a document. I'm reading it right now. It was a document that was found in a fucking printer by somebody that bought a fucking printer from the Boeing, dude. And it's a whole document that goes into a lot of the shit that we see today. If I may, because this is how fucking crazy this is. I have to say that.
Go ahead.
Now, I'll break it down for you. It is patently impossible to discuss social engineering or the automation of society, the engineering of social automation systems, so, you know, using a system to do it automatically, on a national or worldwide scale without implying the extensive objectives of social control and destruction of life, aka slavery and genocide. So they're saying there's no way we could talk about doing this without also, when we implement this system, having slavery and genocide being a part of it.
Wow.
They know.
And that all ties into what you're saying.
That's the first fucking sentence. Sorry, the first sentence, dude. It's crazy.
It all ties into what you're saying, especially with like population reduction, you know what I'm saying? And the slavery angle is just self-explanatory.
Yep. And it goes into computers, bro. If they say you control people with the push of a button through economy. Crazy. And that's exactly what we were talking about in here. Go read that document, guys. I'm telling you, you'll get a lot of good information out of it.
Go check that out, guys. This has been another Swapcast with 6G Agenda and Outside Minds. Thank you guys for tuning in. Go ahead and follow Andrew. Follow 6G Agenda. Check out his channel. Check out his podcast.
Subscribe.
Follow all the socials. You know what I'm saying?
Pull up.
I think you're making a run. We got a third host that comes on every once in a while, but you're making a run to be the fourth host. You might be our conspiracy correspondent. You know what I'm saying? I love having you on. Thank you for coming on, bro. This has been another episode of the 6G Agenda and Outside Minds Swapcast. I'm your host and creator, Stilo Free. This is the other host and creator,
Dot420,
and that's the other host and creator of 6G Agenda, Andrew
Clinton, baby. Andrew Clinton, baby.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We out.
Peace.
Hell yeah.